So, are you really like, are you a communist?
Well, I don't know if I'm a communist, but I I feel like a lot of that, the philosophy that influences communism, socialism, that whole aspect of thought, I kind of makes sense to me.
Okay, don't you think we kind of like I always see like people, even like Martina that I was
Uh
talking
huh.
to, like we kind of like escaped it, right? And we kind of like heard a lot of stories from like what was happening. Like you never feel like like coming to America is kind of like
So
leaving that behind and
I
like
was born when in '86, or the last year of Yugoslavia, which was a socialist nation, and I feel like in my childhood I still felt the remnants of this culture, and it was beautiful.
what was beautiful about it?
Oh, well, we had this whole bratstvo in the jedinstvo, which is like brothers, togetherness, and like it was just this vibe of everybody carried around, of kind of accepted others and all their differences, and it was just cool, whatever. Yeah, and we had, I mean, I remember like our public transport. Like you don't have to have money, bro. Like you just get on. And they take you. You need to go to the city. Fine, the bus comes. You get on the bus, and that's it. Like and this was part of kind of a building that vibe amongst each other, right? So if money is not this big deal of how we organize in our community, in our society, um, I think it takes away a lot of that angst, like we were talking about. So I felt like a lot of that was beautiful. Like I experienced maybe 7, 8 years towards the end, even though socialism was officially over in Yugoslavia, you still had like, we've had socialism since the what, late 20s, something like that. Officially after the war. So we've had socialism for a while, and the culture and the vibe was printed in the people. The people expressed it. The people lived it. Um, and ours, everybody has their attempt at socialism. Not everybody, but the countries that have tried socialism, the attempts are varied. It's a different attempt at socialism. It looks different. It's a uh, different hypothesis on how to organize. And ours was, um, they say that it was market socialism, where this huge market was allowed to coexist with the state and all this other stuff. And I mean, yeah, I don't know, but I remember it just being beautiful.
Well, don't you think you were like quite young to really
Yeah,
kind
yeah. So I mean, I'm sure that,
yeah,
but again, I mean, this is,
it's just your truth.
yeah,
Your
I was a little dude, and the things that stood out to me is what, is what I can speak on. But talking with family, talking with people, everybody has their own kind of view on things. Uh, and I think that's prevalent now, right? Because it's all different.
Well, now there's a big rise of like interest in like Marxism and socialism, like in the West.
Here.
Yeah, in the West for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's like the pendulum swings, right? People are kind of like are less emotional about it now. They're like, all right, maybe we can
Yeah,
try it
it's
out
whatever.
again,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And
And
I think we have a lot of different aspects of socialism. I mean, so during this whole COVID thing, you had this huge failure on corporations and markets, on private enterprise, to provide for the people, because it was like, oh, we can't. It doesn't make business sense. It doesn't make profit sense for me to keep things going, whatever the hell. And guess what? The state just came out of nowhere and was like, "Oh, you can't pay rent? Okay, we'll help you. Oh, you don't have a job? Here's some unemployment."
well, that's what they've done in the crisis in 2008 and 9 too, with
Yeah,
GMC and
so I
stuff.
mean, that's those are socialist aspects of economy, of ways of organizing.
Yeah, I
So
guess
we're like helping each other, like.
yeah. I guess my concern and my like thing where I'm like scared of, right, let's say, is that I don't want to do anything against my will. So like I escaped what I didn't like about back home and that kind of mentality. And let me tell you, like I grew up in the 90s and 2000s in Azerbaijan. People still now have Soviet Union mentality because they've just been there for like almost 100 years. It's gonna leave its mark. So people, older generation, they still think that way. They still think that they can't say things out loud that are, whatever they want. They still have to like the government. They still have to pretend to like the government or whatever. All these things, right? Like,
but you think this is a fault of socialism?
I think it's like, what do you mean?
Well, this
that kind of mentality,
belief, this thinking that.
Well,
I have to censor myself.
So here's the thing. So here's my problem with that. Everywhere it's been implemented with force, right? And that's my issue.
No,
is that it's never been.
This is not true.
Okay, let's elaborate.
Let's fight. I don't know. I don't think this is true. There are on the big stages. I feel like it has been implemented with force. But that's because of existing things. Like, in order for something new, in order for change to come in, which was socialism at these countries that have tried it, force, unfortunately, was required.
Well, that's my problem with it.
So how are you going to change things?
Well, exactly. That's why I don't think it should be like things that are implemented by force. Like there's going to be people who are going to pretend
the
to
stuff
agree with this.
The stuff that's existing is enforced.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The thing is, like, if I disagree with something, right? If I
like Tsar Nicholas and before, let's say, in
like
Soviet
they killed
Union.
the guys. They killed the guys to change, to create a revolution. It wasn't like, hey, let's vote the Tsar out and let's select Lenin, right?
They killed the guy because his fucking people tried to save his ass. They killed the guy because he was trying to be, he was trying to get away.
Yeah, but
and they were like, yo, you are nobody no more. You understand? And this is the thing about people, right? We organize. So everybody. So if 40% of the population is like, okay, we want a czar, and the 60% is like, no, change comes, bro.
Well, is that what happened? They just outvoted him? I don't think so.
Well, you can't outvote stuff like that, right? First of all, I don't think anybody's going to go down, right? I mean, and once you're in this power, because there is not just you, but there is a whole system that's behind you of doing things that you're trying to now change, right? And we talk about Soviet Union, but in China, it was even worse, bro.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, in China, it's even worse. It was bigger war, bigger casualty numbers. It was even worse what they went through.
I guess my thing is that, like look what happened in England, right? They still have a queen, but she's just disempowered. She doesn't have the same amount of power.
Same thing, yeah.
So, but it happened more, whatever it is. Like, here's my thing with this. It's like, I'm against like a revolution. I think the changes come with time. I think there was never, hold on.
It's a force.
But my thing is there was never iPhone 1 and then 11.
Yeah.
We went from iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4. It took us like 10 years to get to iPhone 12. And honestly, it's not much different than the first one, really. And it's going to take some time for it to have even cooler features, right? There's no institution in humans like nature. Mm-hmm. There's no in nature where we do things right away. Every change, everything we've done comes incrementally. We're keen to do incremental change. We can't just change our mind on something overnight. It has to happen incrementally. But it's not
why
fun.
not?
But
why don't you? I feel like we're being forced to be that way now.
I don't think so. I think that's our
nature. What do you mean? Overnight, COVID, pandemic, or do things differently, let's go.
No. I'm not saying we're not doing it. So my continuation to that is that we like more like a radical stories. We like chaos. We also hardwired to telling our grandchildren that, you know what, it was one way and then we stood up and fucking overcame this and killed the Tsars.
To me, this is ego. This is all just ego. Like this is.
I mean, sure, it is ego, but we it's more satisfying to us. Even if the change is like shitty, but it's more satisfying.
I influenced something. I impacted something.
Made it exactly. So. I mean, that comes to the problem of ego, but that's my problem with it is like incremental. like every complaint people have right now, every complaint from racism to anything, is gonna be solved in like 300 years. We're not gonna have racism. You know why? Simple answer. I'll tell you why. Because we're all gonna be the same color. The globalization already
we're
started.
gonna be brown as
Yeah,
fuck.
we're all gonna be like Arabs.
Yeah,
We're all gonna be mixed.
I can't wait.
You're not gonna live through that. I'm saying like in a whatever 300, 500, 1,000
How
years.
you know I'm not gonna live?
Well, I'm gonna make
So
an
now,
assumption.
now you're trying to project the future, and I take
Great
offense to
that,
to what you're projecting my future. I want you to read my cup differently.
Yeah, well, listen, man. Maybe you're gonna be the first one. You're gonna look like Emma.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
But you get what I'm saying. I
yeah.
say that problem, racism,
The-
in 300 years, is
life-
not going to be a problem. We're going to be
Sure.
looking at us as savages now.
No,
you
okay,
know?
racism. Okay, so here I'll go crazy on you. Racism is it's an economic function. Racism is a commodity. Because around racism, you can create ideology, ways of thinking, and you can create what? Ways of participating in economic society.
Well, I don't like ideologies. That's the thing. This is all
then
of that. Like that's why I have this.
Then
like,
you go back to your mountain, sir, and you go get your goats, and you leave us alone.
Well, no, I came to America because I like the individualism part, where you can just be your own thing, and you
But
have.
that's everywhere. That's not just America.
think
They
so.
they were just like that good marketing teams, bro. That's
Good marketing teams.
Yeah, that good marketing teams. They sold overseas and throughout the world that, hey guys, we have this awesome setup.
But I think it works. I mean, without the American dream thing, I think there's something to it that it's like gives you that freedom that comes with the consequences. Freedom doesn't come
Freedom
with,
in what? From who?
from everything.
What are you talking? No! How? Come on, man. Lenin. When they asked him, they were like, freedom from what? Where's your freedom from who? Like, this is imposed. This is self-imposed in thought that we are not free. You're free. You've always been free.
Well, here's the thing. Like when you are, let's go back to a smaller example. Right? We talk about like a small group of people, right? Like we're in Azerbaijan. I'm a part of subgenre of metal, right? And I live in a society where metal is not accepted. Right? I'm not free. I don't feel free. Yeah, I can do it, but it comes with great effort to be free.
And consequences and repercussions. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, listen, a girl wants to be a virgin before she gets, not a virgin. She doesn't want to be a virgin before she gets married. That's a very common thing, right? Because the society will really judge you. Your father will disown you. Like those constructs that are like implemented. I don't want to use social construct as like,
but it is.
That's
what it is.
Trite to use that word nowadays, right? But
it's a good
you know
word.
What I mean.
Yeah, it's a good concept.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are made up things that are like we have to follow them for us not to follow what I want to do. Even if I want to do something stupid, I should be allowed to do it without this judgment.
We don't have to follow them.
Yeah, but
this is like this happens with me and my parents.
Point is like in New York, in America, most places in America, definitely in New York, you can do it without anybody judging you for doing whatever the fuck you want to do. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying like very primitive.
Okay, well, I'm gonna disagree with you because this is most places in America. If we're talking about physically land, it's not the case because it's a huge place. The middle of it has its culture, has its way of doing things, has its understanding, has its way of existing. The coasts are a totally different beast, baby.
I mean, sure. But
coasts are totally different beast.
Listen, I'm pretty sure that if I go to somewhere in Midwest and some very conservative place,
you will not have any problems, bro. You won't have any problems.
I agree with you. I won't have any problems. Like even if they don't like me at first or something, right? I still think like if I want to,
they don't like you because it's fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be anywhere as bad as me living in Azerbaijan doing metal stuff and dealing with the shit. You know what I mean? I'm serious. It's so dumb. It's so primitive. Like these examples are like so kind of absurd, but I'm trying to make a point.
Yeah, but it's a reflection of the paradigm, and a paradigm is usually tied to a time frame, and right. So it's a collection of thought and how people think that's associated to a time frame and a place. Azerbaijan, when was it? 90s, early 2000s.
Which one?
when you were doing your metal stuff?
Yeah, like mid 2000s, late 2000s. Yeah.
So, it's a reflection of that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't feel like a victim, or just I want to make sure I don't feel like a victim or anything. I'm not saying, oh, I have this big chip on my shoulder.
But nobody cares how you feel.
Exactly. Nobody cares. No, I agree with that. Nobody cares and nobody should.
Yeah.
These are just observations, and it's just, here's the thing. I think very low of humans. Okay. I don't have this big opinion that, like, I have my shitty life that's going to last anywhere between 70 to 80 years. It's not a lot.
Okay, but that's not what...
I want to have a fulfilling life. I want to have fun. I want to hang out with my dogs and just like be free from this anxiety
100%,
shit. 100%.
And that you can do that.
America allows me to not worry about anxiety, not worry about this COVID or whatever the fuck. There's the big issue of the day thing. I can actually be like, okay, I don't have to care about it.
I can just do my thing.
Do my thing. It's not imposed upon me. I feel like back home, everything is imposed upon you. The social anxiety is
everybody gets to experience it.
Exactly. And if you disagree when you're in public, it's even worse. It's even worse. It's like, what did you say? And they'll beat you up. They'll beat your ass up.
Oh, I know.
Physical pain will be guaranteed.
I mean, I went through similar stuff because of religion.
Absolutely, that's religion. A big one.
Yeah, when I was young, certain parts of the town, religion, if you're like this, if you're like that.
Absolutely. I was just telling you how the religion is imposed in the language.
Do you realize that we're animals?
Like, I know that we're animals.
Like, you shit, you understand? Like, you have waste that comes out of your system. Like, this is who you are, bro. So, like, when we...
Like, I know that I'm an animal.
Right. So, when we look at these things and we're like, oh, it's so bad... it's like a dolphin trying to...
Yeah. That's why I compared us to the colony of ants on this planet 100%,
Earth. Yeah.
I'll tell you more. We're a disease. Ugh. We're an infection on Earth. How about that?
Ugh.
Listen, but what is like a positive or negative? But here's the thing. Like, do you think we're gonna live here forever? I'm saying, like, how long is million years?
How can you, bro? Okay, so let's say that we partake in this theory of evolution and this change over time in biological matter, right? So change occurs over time, and even in biology, in this living matter that is complex as fuck, right? So how it's been so long and this is the form that we've gotten to. How can it not be this super complex top of the fucking line form, bro? It cannot be nothing else but. We are the apex of everything, bro. Because we've survived so much. And yes, on the individual level, on the perspective of the singular human, it's one way. But we are also an organism that's 8 billion almost strong. And that's a singular organism together of humans that just, like ants on this planet that are working together to live, to survive.
That's all. Ultimately, that's all it is. Yeah. No, I agree. Sure. But my thing is that I don't have, there's no proof. And, that's a lot to say, to ask for proof, right, for these things. But there's no data to support that we're not going to be eradicated like fucking dinosaurs. We've been on this planet Earth only a little bit.
So now we're talking probability.
Well, we've been 15 billion years, the Earth, but we've been here for last 200 years.
And we got Elon Musk. So
listen.
He's gonna send us to a planet. I'm not gonna have to drive there. He's just gonna go by itself. I can't wait.
No, listen, sure, I'm all for that. But my concern is that China
will stop Elon and go there first.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and now we are. That's a whole nother conversation. We're punishing Elon for shit. I hate that whole thing.
Who's we?
I mean, the society, and he's as human, so he's very.
I'm not doing it.
I know, but people do. I talk to so many people who don't like him, say he's a fucking asshole. Whatever.
How's that punish him? That's just a shitty opinion that I hold.
But he's very susceptible to that kind of criticism. He's a human. He is though. He sold all of his shit and stuff, and now he doesn't even own a house.
But he's motivated by what?
I mean, I hope he stays motivated. That's all I'm saying. I'm just thinking that he, as every other human, he's fragile to shit like this. And any moment he'll be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna help you guys anymore. I'm just gonna go live.
Yeah, I don't think so. You know, Stalin tried to quit 4 times.
Really?
Yeah, and
Well,
then
he
he let
should've,
him.
really.
Yeah, they were like, nope, we need your
That's
ass.
the guy who should have fucking left. You know?
So if Elon tries to quit, I don't know if they're gonna let him, bro.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, back in there, boy. Let's go.
I want to get that.
But this is how it works, right? So we give this huge weight and importance to individuality, to Elon, to what Elon is.
I mean, he's quite
But-
special though.
Yeah, but he is special because of those around him. He's
Sure.
special because of those who built this ability to exist as this individual, to have this importance given to you, to decide on all these things, to drive
Yeah,
our
I mean,
ideology.
sure. Yeah.
But that's built. It's the same thing with Stalin. They thought at that time that this was the best way.
Well,
Oh,
I
don't-
think
yeah,
it's
yeah,
more
I mean,
complex.
Yeah. And they put him up there and he was like, I don't want to do this. And they were like, yeah, too bad.
I don't know how much he didn't want to do this. He was like the fucking.
No, he didn't want to do it, bro.
I don't know.
He didn't want to do it.
I don't think there's enough information for us to know.
Oh my God,
things like
bro, there's plenty of information.
that. He was the henchman. He was Lenin's henchman. He was like the fucking.
He didn't want to do it. And Lenin didn't want him either, I don't think.
I think
Lenin wanted like
I think
somebody
that's
else.
the only guy he trusted from. Like now we're like doing like the bro science.
Plus, he was a bank robber. I don't know if you know.
who Stalin?
Yeah.
I don't know, but he was a tough guy. He was a tough
Yeah.
guy who was the henchman of the Lenin.
What's
and he
there
was
not
like,
to love?
Yeah, you are. You know.
I mean, and especially for us Slavs, like we have a different kind of.
I feel like he killed all people who were smart, who had anything to fucking do. Like how many people he killed?
Bro, they were attacked. You understand?
Who was attacked?
Soviets.
Okay, sure.
So.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
So you're just chilling, you're just trying to do all this stuff, and here come the wonderful
and when you say
Germans.
attacked,
Attack!
no, hold on. I'm not talking about that. No, I'm not talking about the Germans. I'm saying he would kill his own people
I don't know about this
from
stuff,
the.
man. I don't know about this stuff. This is like hearsay through one word to another to some dude who said blah blah blah. I don't know about this stuff. I know big picture stuff because there's the most data on stuff like that, and I have access to it. This individual, I don't know. I know that there was a whole bunch of fighting going on for crazy various reasons, and the biggest death and the biggest count was during the war. And it's not like he went to try to get shit. It's
Sure.
not like he went to conquer. You know, they came at him, bro. They came at him, and they came at what many, in the socialist camp believe is the reason why, because you are operating your economy under this socialist banner. You're operating in a certain way that spreads certain ideas, and many didn't like that.